Kia ora, greetings, g'day, hello and welcome back to the SAS Reality Check. I'm here with another question that's come through from another person who again sounds like they're preparing for and going on selection. So let's jump in. G'day Joe, first thanks very much for the generic SAS selection training program. I'm seeing great results for me as I progress through the days/weeks. I've made some adjustments for me due to my personal circumstances, but I'm pretty much following what you've outlined in the program. So thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for that feedback too. The reason I'm reaching out now is I'm feeling a lot of pressure regarding being on selection and whether I pass or fail. This is everything to me. This is all I've wanted to do since I was in my teens. Everyone in my life knows I'm going for this. Okay, everyone in my life knows I'm going for this. All right. I know I have the grit, but the thought of returning home having failed and having to face everyone is starting to weigh on me more than the physical challenges. How do you compartmentalize that fear of failure so it doesn't paralyze you during the actual events? Any guidance, tips, advice would be appreciated. Thanks, mate. And then they sign off. Wow. Okay. Man, a couple of things jump out to me right there. Or one of the main things that jumps out to me is everyone in my life knows I'm going for this. That does add a heck of a lot of pressure. I'm not going to lie. Just not that in my case, everybody I knew didn't know that I was going for it. So I can't relate to it from that perspective. People that needed to know at the time and those who I wanted to know knew. Which there wasn't many. So it was my girlfriend at the time, and then outside that, it was people that were my leaders in the army, and then probably my mates that saw me training and just sort of put two and two together. But the vast majority of them didn't come out and start engaging in conversations with me about it. So I didn't have a heck of a lot of people knowing that I was going on selection. By the time I went to Australia, a little bit different again, but I didn't really know anybody in Australia. By the time I got to 4RAR, people knew that the only reason I had come over there was because I wanted to go on the SASR selection and I wanted to join the unit there. So that, I suppose, didn't take that long. But again, people, those that if they did know, they didn't come and engage in conversations, and ask about it or, have any real bad things or good things to say, to be honest. So it was just one of those things. So that jumps out to me. Everyone in my life knows I'm going for this. That immediately in my head puts a heck of a lot of pressure and weight on your shoulders, because now, like you've said, you're worried about what happens if you don't pass, if you fail, etc. So how do you compartmentalize that fear of failure? From that perspective, there's always, the saying failure is not an option. I personally disagree with that. Failure is always an option. So compartmentalizing that, I don't know if I ever compartmentalized it. I think I just acknowledged and understood. This would be my advice or tip. I just acknowledged and understood that, yes, I could fail. I could fail because I might break something, badly injure myself and unable to continue. I understood that I could fail because the directing staff might remove me from the course for whatever that reason might have been. I could fail for not meeting the requirements, not being fast enough, whatever. And I could have passed away, on selection, depending. I struggle to think about where that might have happened, but it potentially could have happened. And yeah, who knows? None of those things happened, so that's good. So I just carried on. Outside of those three things and acknowledging and understanding that I could have failed selection, I just focused on the task. Real boring and repetitive, this SAS Reality Check channel, it may seem, but when I'm reading through these questions and then I'm trying to, on the spot, put together a response like I'm doing now, it comes back to the same thing. Like, just listen to the instructors, do what they ask you to do as well as you can, use your initiative, and just crack on with the work. Like, there's no other recipe that I'm aware of. I didn't have one part of my brain segmented over here or compartmentalizing all my fears and concerns. I didn't have another part of my brain compartmentalizing all these uncontrollables that I've heard in other queries and questions that have come through. I didn't have another part of my brain doubting or wondering if my physical preparation and mental preparation was enough. Like, none of that stuff, I don't recall going through and segmenting things that way. You just turn up, listen to the instructors or the directing staff, do what they ask you to do as well as you can, use your initiative and crack on with the job. That's that, and the rest will take care of itself. So I don't know if that helps you, man, but that's what I've got for you, eh? This is a reality check. There's no mystic, magic, dark secrets and all that sort of stuff. The tips and tricks are going to be pretty consistent, and dare I say, those that ask the questions, probably including to yourself, the person, you know who you are, who you've sent this message through, you've probably deep down got these answers already in you as well. I remember one of the questions that came through, and the person pretty much answered their own question when they said words to the effect of, I know I'm probably overthinking it. And yeah, they were overthinking a lot of the stuff that they were going through or that they were thinking about, which is just unnecessary. So do your physical training prep. Make it hard, because selection's going to be hard. Don't make yourself nice and comfortable, warm and fuzzy. Use that comfortableness and that taper as part of the taper leading into selection. But make sure your training and preparation for selection is hard, is making you sort of question and doubt your choices, your decisions. Like, it made me question whether or not I wanted to get up and do the training. I've spoken about that on other videos. It really made me question, was this worth it? Do I want to do this? And every time I had that thought, like, I was able to answer that question for myself, for me personally, and the answer was yes, it is. So get up and go again. I might not perform, and there were many times when I didn't perform as well as what I wanted to in my preparation leading up to. But the key part for me that I felt helped me was that I got up and I did it anyway. So that's what I'd say. And don't tell any more people that you're going on selection. That's the other tip. Like, that would be probably the first one. First one, don't tell anybody, or try to limit as much as possible who knows that you're going on selection or that you have this desire to serve in the Special Air Service. Once you've got that small group of people that know, that's it. Nobody else needs to know. That can help lift some of that pressure off you as well. Bit late now, because like you said, everyone in your life knows you're going for this. Maybe that's just an exaggeration, or maybe that's just something that you typed out. Maybe it's not everyone in your life knows, but sounds like a significant number of people know that you're going on selection. And that can cause, I can imagine, a certain amount of stress and anxiety and fear. So you've brought that on yourself. Manage that as best you can by not giving it time, space, and air in your head to breathe and sort of permeate, I suppose, up there, and just focus on the task at hand, your preparation, and then getting on selection, and then doing what's asked of you, doing it as well as you can, using your initiative and cracking on with the work. Hopefully that helps. That's all I've got for you anyway. That being said, the message is always the same. To anybody out there that's going through struggles, challenges, difficulties, man, I encourage you to keep turning up, keep staying in the fight, put one foot in front of the other, and take one day at a time. Know and trust that things can do and will get better. I know that from personal experience. You likely know that from your own experience, and other people that you know have gone through similar experiences. They've overcome those hard times because they've wanted to, and because they've been willing to sacrifice, be persistent, be consistent, be disciplined, and to do what it takes, and sometimes to exercise patience in order to get to where they want to be. So I know that it will work for you. The sun will shine again. There is a light at the end of that tunnel, and there are better days ahead, and those better days are always, in my experience, always closer than you and I think. So just stick at it. Keep going. You'll be all right. Talk to somebody if you need to. Ask for help if you have to. But you'll be all right. Just stick at it and keep chipping away. As always, go always a little further. Remember, who dares wins and who cares wins. And until the next video, there is a big mana wave coming from me to you, filled with my aroha, respect, appreciation, and gratitude for you all.